Hey everyone, welcome back to the Triad Chord Scale series. In this video, I'm going to show you a handful of licks that use this kind of open E scale that we came up with. This is kind of an intersection with the Triad series that I do, and also the kind of open string boxes that I do. This whole chord scale comprises what I'd call an open string box. It's a very common set of licks come right out of this. So you're going to find your low E string, your open B, and your open E, your first string, second string, and sixth string, basically make an E power chord. When you make triads on the A, D, and G strings, the strings that are left, it sounds like a nice little drone going on with that key. And this sounds really great with finger picking patterns. This sounds great with strumming. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you a couple of the really common positions that a lot of songs go into, and then I'll also mention what the songs are so you can go into a little more depth of them later. I usually do lessons on these songs as well, so you can use my lessons to learn the riffs. All right, so the first thing that's really common is just to start out with this E, go up to the F sharp minor, to the G sharp minor, and then back down. You know, if you look like Hootie and the Blowfish, only want to be with you, it's just... Now, of course, I think they take one of the notes out. They take the note out on the B string. They just kind of do. So in a way, they're only kind of doing thirds, but it's based on the same idea because you have these two open E strings here. So you could do the whole thing to make it a little fatter. It changed the sound a little bit, but it's the same basic position. And that's actually a fairly common riff to do with different strumming patterns or finger picking patterns. I actually wrote a song that used a similar idea where I just went... I just kind of picked on the top four strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, just using those thirds. So it's kind of a fragmentation of the idea, but still very, very common. Another really common thing to do is start from sort of an E power chord, but now you kind of got this super duper E power chord because you get your open E. If you do a power chord, it's like pointer finger on 7 of the A, ring finger on 9 of the D, and pinky on 9 of the G. Now you literally have all 6 strings of the guitar playing E and B notes. And it's just really, really broad and epic sounding. But of course, as soon as you change a note, you get this ring against it. So this is another area a lot of people stay in. And this is like both older and newer songs use this. But you start with this power chord. Pinky's on 9, the middle finger then plays 8, but you keep the other 2 power chord fingers the same. So you just add that 1 D sharp in there. Man, it's a really shiny kind of chord. And then a lot of times what people do is they'll go down to the A. They'll do middle on 7 of the A, ring on 7 of the D, pointer on 6 of the G. But you still use the same open strings. So that gets used in a ton of songs too. This is in Miley Cyrus's 7 Things. This is in Colby Calais' Falling For You. This is back in Michael Martin Murphy's Wildfire. That's from the 60s. So it's like you got songs that are 30, 40 years apart that still use this. So that's another very, very common area to stay in. So the combination of those two areas give you a lot of flexibility and different ways of kind of inverting the chords. And you can mix in the other chord scales. Like a lot of times I'll just kind of take shapes from the other E chord scales and just move them around. It's almost anything with these open strings sounds good. Like if I start here and I'm using... It's not technically an E, but I just took I just started with this E shape here, but I just set it up a whole step. Not really in the chord scale, it changes the key a little bit, but it sounds pretty good. You can do it down a whole step too. It's another lick I like to do out of it. You know, kind of mixing up shapes and moving them random places against these open strings. It's really hard to go wrong, I gotta be honest. It's really hard to go wrong. So it's something you can experiment with strumming. It's really easy to do. Another easy thing to do is just take any finger picking pattern you like. If I just take a really common, I took the Travis picking pattern from Landslide, really common. I could just put that over these chords and see what happens. Kind of hard to go wrong. just has this warmth to it, this kind of shiny warmth, no matter what you do. So try grabbing a finger picking pattern out of any song, a strumming pattern out of every song, and just taking the E chord scales and messing around with different combinations of them on these strings. You're going to be amazed what you get. It's just incredible, the possibility. I've also got lessons on licks from a bunch of songs that use this. So again, the ones I mentioned in this lesson are all going to be covered. So yeah, check those out if you want some more specific examples of how this gets used. And yeah, hope you find this helpful. Go ye forth and make some music with it. Catch y'all later.